Never go swimming alone. If you do, when a sea monster comes along, it won't have any other kids to choose from, and you'll be eaten for sure. And that'd make you a bonehead. Bonehead!
Hi there, how's it going? It's me, Cowboy Slim. This is a Cowboy Who show, kind of a kids show. And well, glad you could all make it down watch me again. Also want to thank all of you kids and aliens and adults and everybody else who has been sending in letters, giving me something to read, giving me something to watch with videotapes you send in of ideas you got for shows or commercials or video letters, any of that kind of stuff. It's always fun to get. Send them up to me. If you just find out what station, find out, the address of the station is showing this. They seem to be able to manage to get them to me. Let me just read a letter, okay? Probably a good thing to do with them since I have a whole box full. Here's a lot of artwork on this one. It says, "Howdy, Cowboy Slim." Hi, Cowboy Slim. Oh, well, hi, both times. I'm not your average person. I'm an alien from the planet Drakazode. And I would like to ask a few questions. What are those big things they shoot from a small place that I sit on? Or what is that thing that sits beside Trevor? Well, that's all I would like to ask. Your alien friend, Jeffrey. Well, Jeffrey, first of all, let me say that it's a pretty interesting name for an alien. Sounds very much like an Earth name. Second of all, you sure did a lot of work with these illustrations. And now, as far as those answers to those questions, I really couldn't begin to tell you what that thing is sitting beside Trevor, since I don't even know who Trevor is. And I don't know what they're shooting out of that place where you're sitting. I just don't know. And let me say again, you aliens, sure, I'm an Earthling, but I haven't got a clue what's going on down on Earth. When I lived down on Earth, I didn't have a clue what was going on. So don't expect me to be able to answer a lot of questions about why we do things or anything like that, because I just don't know. Anyway, let's move on now with my favorite part of the show. And you're probably getting a little sick of hearing me say that. But it's true, so I'm going to say it anyway. And that is the part of the show where we look at the videotapes that you, the viewer, send in, and, they're just a bunch of dumb ideas that people have for shows. And I mean dumb in the best sense. I mean dumb in the sense that this whole show is kind of dumb. Anyway, let me just get the receptor glasses on and get the old scanner out. And we'll just have a look at what people have sent us this last week.
Once upon a time, in a far-off and lonely place, there lived a most unfortunate snowman. He was trapped inside a giant glass bubble. But lo and behold, who should come walking through the forest that very day and stop dead in his tracks? But jolly old Saint Nick himself. Yes, Santa Claus remembered that one day when he was very, very small, he too was stuck in a glass bubble much the same as that of the snowman. And he vowed then and there to help free the snowman. But he had to first consult with the great Esmeralda. And so to her simple abode he marched to get the answer to his most difficult questions. Esmeralda was wise and kind, and Santa was sure that she would help. And in the twinkling of an eye, her magic egg appeared before her. And she asked the egg the question, and they awaited a reply. The egg says toast, said the great Esmeralda. Magic toast. Magic toast is the answer to your problem. And so he summoned his entourage of ducks, Lester and Walter, and they appeared magically before him. And Santa quickly bade them go off and fetch him the magic toast. And so off they trudged, the miles and miles between them and the magic toast. But soon, in the magic twinkling of an eye, they were there. It was theirs. The prize magic toast was theirs, and soon it would be with Santa Claus. And so they rode the magic toast back to the lonely forest, where Santa waited most impatiently. And so onto the toast climbed Santa, in order to sleep his magical sleep that would free the snowman from his evil bubble. Santa Claus shut his eyes tightly, and he dreamed only the nicest of dreams, and he dreamed them hard. And before you knew it, the glass that surrounded the snowman began to dissolve and fade away, and he was free.
Cowboy. Cowboy who?
Hi there, we're back. Hope you enjoyed those commercials. Yeah, right. Anyways, point in the show now that we get to watch Dee Dee and Dwilfer. This is kind of a kid's show, kind of an Earth thing, kind of an alien thing. Pretty weird though, and well, I like weird, so hope you do too. Let's just tune it in and we can have a look.
Children, and welcome again to our program where we're learning all about my home, the planet Earth. I have a wish. Shall I tell you what it is? My wish is for everyone in this wonderful universe of ours to learn more about my home, the planet Earth, and the ways of the Earth, and so become a little more like me. I know you can do it. Now, on today's program, we're going to be talking about cooperation. Cooperation means doing things together to make things easier, sharing things, even the good things as well as the bad things. But before we talk about cooperation, why don't we call upon our good friend Dwilfer? Now, Dwilfer's an alien, just like some of you, and he's going to tell us all about this strange and peculiar alien land. Now, why don't you help me call him? Ready? Oh, Dwilfer!
Okay, this way. Come on,
Dwilfer!
Greeley. Where's Peebo? Peebo! Where did Peebo go?
Dwilfer?
Greeley, hold still. Oh, there he is.
Hello, Dwilfer.
Oh, hi, Dee Dee.
What's this all about?
Oh, well, this is Peebo, and this is Greeley, or is that Greeley and that Peebo? Something like that.
Well, either way, okay, fine, I know their names, but what are they doing here?
Oh, well, I have to take care of them.
What do you mean you have to take care of them?
Well, you see, they live next door to me, and while their parents are asleep, I have to keep an eye on them.
While their parents are asleep?
Yeah.
What do you mean their parents are asleep?
Mm-hmm. Well, parents get very little sleep on this planet.
Well, why is that?
Well, it's because the kids never sleep at all. There's too much good television on, so they stay up all day and all night watching TV. But that means their parents have to stay up with them, and sometimes the parents get tired and, well, they just sort of conk out, and when they do that, the neighbors kind of have to come in and take care of the kids. Hold still.
Oh, well, that's ridiculous. Why don't the parents just get firm with their children, discipline, it's very important, and just send them off to bed?
Oh, they can't go to bed. They might miss something good on TV.
Well, that is preposterous.
Yeah.
Honestly.
Uh-oh, I think
What's the matter with them?
Bored.
Why are they shaking?
They're getting bored. They want to watch TV.
They want to watch TV? But we're on TV. Isn't that good
No,
enough?
they want to watch TV.
Well, watch TV. Well, I suppose we could watch something.
Yeah, it doesn't matter what it is.
Well,
They'll watch
just
anything.
relax. Okay, we will go right ahead now to Time for Tots.
Oh, okay, now settle
wait.
down, you two, and watch this.
Time for Tots.
Hi, everyone. Dee Dee didn't like my puppet show last week, so, I don't know. She said I should brighten things up in here, so I got this plant from the lounge. I think it helps a lot. And she wanted me to tell you a real familiar story. She wanted me to tell you Jack and the Beanstalk, and it's not in the ship's computer, so I'm just gonna wing it. It's been a while since I heard that story, but here it goes. There's this guy Jack, and he's got this cow, and he trades it for a sack of beans. It sounds so crazy. I mean, trading a cow for a sack of beans, but I mean, he does it, you know. And anyways, his father gets like really mad at him, you know, calls him a jerk and all this stuff. And anyways, that night, Jack goes out and he plants the beans in the garden. And the next morning when he wakes up, there's this giant beanstalk. I mean, like about 1,000 times bigger than this. And it goes up through the clouds. And he's just completely freaked out at this. So first thing he does is jumps on the thing and climbs up to the top. And when he gets up there, it goes right through the clouds, just crawls off, steps onto the cloud, and there's this giant castle. It's just absolutely amazing. So he sneaks up, and there's this giant fruit and things growing out of the ground, and but everything's huge. But anyways, when he runs up, he finds the castle, and he sneaks inside, and he sees this huge goose, and it's got like gold eggs all around it. It's been laying these giant gold eggs. Like just one of these eggs, and Jack would be set for life, man. So he goes outside, and the giant who lives in the castle has this gold Chevy. So he goes back inside, grabs an egg, and he carries it outside, and he puts it in the trunk, and he gets in and tries to hotwire the car. But he's starting it up, and this giant wakes up, and he comes running out, and Jack just jumps out of the car because he can't get it started, and he runs for the beanstalk. And he just gets on it, and his heart's beating like mad, and he comes like running down the thing, and the giant is just coming down after him. Anyways, when he gets to the bottom, he just grabs an axe, and he just starts hacking it down. He's just hacking away at it, just starts cutting at the bottom of it, cutting, and finally it just falls to the ground. And this giant just starts tumbling down from the clouds. He's just huge. Jack tries to run, but there's no use. The giant just hits the ground like a pot of lead, and he flattens the whole town. It's just wild. Anyways, nobody ever found out about it because the whole town was gone. They thought a giant meteorite had struck. Isn't that wild? Isn't it just incredible?
Well, that certainly seemed to calm them down.
Yeah, for now.
For those of you who are just joining us, this is Peebo and Dwiley, Dwiley and Peebo,
No,
or
it's
what?
Greeley. And I think you got him backwards. I think
Well,
it's the other way
whatever.
around.
These are Dwilfer's neighbor's children, and he's temporarily obligated to look after them, and so
Oh,
he's...
yeah, I don't have to look after them for too long.
Right, well, that's what temporarily means.
Oh, okay.
At any rate, without any further ado, we will continue with our program. And as I had mentioned earlier,
You're
today's
getting bored
theme
already.
is cooperation. But before we talk about cooperation,
hold still.
let's go down to the planet Earth and find out what the children there
oh, yeah. Hey, watch
seem to
this.
think
Watch
about
this.
cooperation. Now just watch the TV.
Push them around. Push them around. Boss them around. Not very nice. Bug them. Crush their daily bug like crazy. That's not very nice. Go. Hit them. Kill them. Kill someone? Murder. I can show you. This. And this. And this. And now you really thought I would.
Well, those children certainly had a rather interesting interpretation of cooperation, didn't they?
Yeah, well, at least Peebo and Greeley seem to like it. They're nice and calm now.
Well, that's a good sign. And so now we will continue on with our theme for today's program by talking about cooperation.
Oh, good.
Now, cooperation is when two people work together to get something done. It means sharing the responsibilities of the work, even if it's a good job or perhaps a job that's not so much fun. Cooperation seems to make things easier.
Oh, it sure does, Dee Dee.
Yes, well, Dwilfer, I'm glad that you agree with me.
Oh, I don't only agree with you, but I want to help you with your lesson.
You do you?
Yeah. Well, I want you to cooperate with me. How does that sound? It'll show all our little friends out there at home just what it's like.
Well, I don't know about that, Dwilfer.
Oh, sure. You see, I have to look after Peebo and Greeley, and I'd like to share that work with you.
Oh, no. That was your responsibility, Dwilfer, and I've got a program to do here,
But you see, well, I just remembered that it's nearly their lunchtime, and I forgot to bring their dextrofibril.
Their what? Their dextrofibril?
Yeah, I think you call it cotton candy.
Cotton candy? You feed these things
well,
cotton
they're
candy?
They're fussy eaters. Anyway, I forgot it, so I better go get some.
Well,
Will you look after them for me?
Dwilfer,
Thanks.
you'll just
Okay,
have
I'll
to
see you
wait.
later.
Dwilfer? Dwilfer, come back here. Dwilfer, this is not funny. Don't leave me with these two creatures. Dwilfer. I guess he's gone, isn't he? Right, well, it's just the three of us now, isn't it? Right. Well, come back here. That's right. Now you just stay here and relax, calm, perhaps a bit of deep breathing. Okay, they're getting agitated now. Perhaps I shouldn't have said that word. We could watch something. We could watch something on TV. Yes, we will go right away now to Story Tales. Just watch.
Once upon a time there was a brother and sister named Rufus and Lucy, and they lived in the forest with their poor father, who was a woodcutter. The coincidence of their situation did not go unnoticed by Rufus and Lucy, who were positive that one day they would be led into the woods and meet with the same fate as Hansel and Gretel in their favorite and most feared of fairy tales. Every evening after their supper, Rufus would carefully break up a piece of bread, and Lucy would hide the crumbs away in her handkerchief, so that if they should be led deep into the woods and abandoned, they would be able to leave a trail of breadcrumbs. And so as not to repeat Hansel and Gretel's dreadful mistake, they sprinkled their breadcrumbs with hot cayenne pepper, so that the birds wouldn't eat them, and they carried these breadcrumbs with them everywhere they went. Well, one day, the poor woodcutter had a particularly large job to do deep in the woods, and so he decided that he would take Lucy and Rufus along with him, so that they could help. Rufus and Lucy were sure that this was it, and once out in the woods, they were so intent on leaving themselves a good trail that they were not paying attention to where their father was taking them, and so without any help at all, they found themselves hopelessly lost. And when they turned to follow their carefully marked trail back to their home, they realized the birds in their woods must like spicy food because every one of their cayenne-laced breadcrumbs had been eaten. And so Rufus and Lucy decided that the best thing for them to do was to wander through the forest until they found the Wicked Witch's house, that they were sure must be around there somewhere. Soon they arrived at a beautiful cottage made entirely of wood, not gingerbread and candy as they had expected. And although this took Rufus and Lucy by surprise, they were sure that this must be where the Wicked Witch lived. And so they began to nibble at the house and waited for the witch to come out and find them. Sure enough, after only a few nibbles, a woman did come out of the cottage, saw Rufus and Lucy chewing on her cottage, and thought, how hungry these children must be. She greeted the children warmly and invited them into her house, where they could eat in comfort. She didn't look anything like what Rufus and Lucy thought a witch would look like, but they were still sure that she was in fact the witch that they were destined to meet. And so they went inside and searched every corner of the house for cages, in which Rufus might be locked and fattened up in for this woman's breakfast. But there was not a cage in sight, but there was an oven. And no sooner had they entered the little cottage than the nice lady said that she was just about to take some biscuits out of the oven. This is what Rufus and Lucy had been waiting for. And so as the nice lady opened the oven door to look inside, Rufus and Lucy ran at her from behind and tried to push her in. Of course, they couldn't do it because it would be extremely difficult for two children to shove a grown-up into an oven. Well, this made the nice lady very angry, and she told Rufus and Lucy that if that's the way they were going to behave, they could leave her cottage at once. And so that's what they did without even a bite to eat. So back into the woods Rufus and Lucy went to search for the gingerbread cottage of the Wicked Witch, whom they were certain must live around there somewhere. On and on they walked until they finally came to a cottage, a very familiar-looking cottage. It was their own cottage. Just then their father came outside, gave them both a big hug, and told them how happy he was to see them. And Rufus and Lucy went inside, ate their breakfast, and decided between them both that life is not always as you read about it in books.
Well, that certainly seemed to have instilled a little bit of calm into this pair. They really love their TV. Oh no, I shouldn't have said that. Oh, calm down, please, you two. There's nothing left for you to watch. Please, calm down. I know what we could do. We can listen to Dwilfer's music box. Yes, well, I always seem to come up with an idea in the end. Oh, of course. Where does he keep it? I don't know where he keeps his music box. Honestly, okay, I'll sing a song. I'll sing a song for you here that will calm you down and so we can move on with our program. What shall I sing? All right. I'm a little teapot, short and stout. Here is my handle and here is my spout. When I get all steamed up, hear me shout.
Tip me over and pour me out. Oh, one more time. That was great.
Dwilfer, where have you been? I've been having a simply dreadful time with these two.
Yeah, at least we were cooperating.
Oh, no, Dwilfer, we were not cooperating. What? Let me please interrupt you and correct you there. What you did was commonly known as taking advantage of somebody.
Really?
Cooperating is when two people decide to share the responsibilities of something. What you did was dump something off into my lap. And I have had enough of this. I've got my program to finish. So could
I think you better put on something for them to watch.
No, there's nothing else for us to watch, Dwilfer. We've watched everything we can possibly watch. Now just feed them their lunch and perhaps that will calm them down.
Their lunch? I knew I forgot something.
What do you mean you forgot something?
I forgot their lunch.
How could you forget their lunch? It's the only thing you went to do.
I forget things. It's a hobby.
Dwilfer!
What?
I have no more ideas. You're supposed to get their lunch and...
Don't you have any cotton candy here?
Do I have any cotton candy?
Yeah.
Now, do I honestly look like someone who would have some cotton candy?
I don't know, do you?
Well, I don't think so. No, I don't have some cotton candy.
Hey, Dee Dee, look, they're coming down. They like watching you. I think they think you're a TV show. Come on, keep doing what you're doing.
Keep going? Are you ridiculing me?
No.
Oh, yeah, I'll give you
they
something
like
to watch. I'll
watching
give
you.
everybody something to watch. Watch this.
Cowboy.
Hi there, we're back. Sorry to have to put you through these commercials. You know what? If it was up to me, we would just go and do a whole bunch of stuff. I don't really understand it, but you know, it's the price you got to pay to watch TV, I guess. Anyway, as we approach the end of the show, you know what I like to do. I like to just tune in different shows we can get, alien shows, Earth shows, whatever we can pick up. And, you know, we usually find some pretty interesting stuff. This is my tuner. If you're just watching this for the first time, you may be thinking, what the heck is this dangling ball doing? But, well, this actually replaces all this equipment. It's far more efficient. We get a lot more channels on it. It's more responsive, and it looks way cooler than this stuff. So anyway, let's get the receptor glasses on, turn on the tuner, and see what we can pick up.
Hey, Slim, sorry to interrupt, but I got a bit of a problem. I'm wondering too close to this silicon planet, and I got digitized. And so I got a world transponder. So, you know, the station transponder, so I can like realign myself. And I know you like to watch all your shows now and everything, but I'm sorry. And all your viewers, Cowboy viewers, sorry. I just gotta do this. I gotta do this thing now. Bye.